Hey Libra, this reads for you guys. So let's go ahead. Let's see what she's got for you today. So universe, what messages do you have for Libra? You got some guidance, some advice, maybe some warnings or some affirmations. There we go. She's ready to get going here. So I pulled prosperity begins. Obstacles and challenges. Positive movement forward. Emotional loss. And heartache and loss. I feel like we're dealing with a breakup and the aftermath of that, and picking up the pieces, rebuilding our lives, rebuilding our sense of self, loving ourselves again. Recognition and reward, foundation and achievements, rest and rejuvenate, the universe, and discontent and boredom. So to me, these cards all speak of self-healing and rebuilding. And when I get the universe card in a read, to me she speaks of universal life lessons or a destined path that you're on. And I think this is going to be part of both. I think in all of this, these are life lessons that you're going to be learning. I feel like you're going to be growing as a person. And I also feel like it's taking you on a path to where you need to be. It's sending you towards the future that you're destined for. I feel like rest and rejuvenate is speaking towards the healing process that's coming from all of this, taking time to allow yourself to feel the hurt and process the emotions. But then being able to let go and move forward. And I feel like the obstacles and challenges speaks to that. The recognition and reward, foundation, achievements, all of this, I feel like this is coming from the healing process and moving through to the other side of it, and rebuilding your life and being much better off for all of it. So I have the Nine of Cups here, and the Nine of Cups tends to represent abundance and emotional abundance. And I think that's also what you're going to get when you've gone through this healing process. I have the Two of Cups, and I feel like it ties into the Tower here, and it's speaking of this relationship that ended. And the Ace of Pentacles represents new beginnings. So I feel like a new beginning has come from this relationship ending. All the work that you've been doing to heal and process it. I believe the Three of Pentacles speaks of being able to see the fruits of that labor. So not being stuck in the aftermath of the feelings of that breakup, where you're sad, you're hurt, being able to move past that and starting to see happiness, starting to feel okay again, feeling good about yourself. Sort of getting out there. I have the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups represents new beginnings as well. It represents, a lot of times, new beginnings in relationships. I think you have an opportunity coming towards you here pretty quick. And I have the King of Swords sitting next to it. So I feel like that represents this person that's going to be coming into your life. I think they're very honest. They have a lot of integrity, but they can tend to be a little bit cool on the emotional side of things. Like they don't show a whole lot of emotion. You can't always tell sort of what they're thinking or feeling. They're harder to read. I also have the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords in the same line. And the Five of Cups represents being stuck in negative emotions and hurt so much so that you can't move on, you can't see positive opportunities around you. I feel like both of these cards are warnings because the Nine of Swords also speaks to similar aspects of being trapped in negative thoughts and emotions and fear, anger, anxiety, depression. So I feel like it speaks of hang-ups. I feel like it speaks of you not having completed healing from this last breakup before this new relationship comes along. And like you might need to take a little bit of time to do the work before you jump into this, just to make sure you give it a fair shot. I have the Star card as well, and the Star card speaks of clarity to me in this read. I got it next to the Four of Swords, which is similar to Rest and Rejuvenate. It's taking that time to heal, to process, to doing that soul searching, which I think is all part of your healing process and moving forward from this last relationship. The Six of Pentacles, which can speak of an even give and take. I also feel like this speaks of you getting on even ground, getting your feet underneath you again and being prepared for this next relationship. I have the Six of Swords, which represents moving from a stormier time into a calmer one. And I think this also speaks to your healing process as well. I don't think this card speaks to the relationship, the upcoming possible one. I just think it speaks to the process that you're going through and healing from those wounds. Alrighty, so I have the Seven of Cups here. The Seven of Cups represents choices, choosing wisely, weighing your options. So I think it also ties into this new potential relationship that you have. And whether this is something that you want to jump into, maybe it's something that you want to go slow, maybe start as like a friendship while you're still healing from your other relationship. You're still building a foundation for a solid friendship with this other person and getting to know who they really are before you choose to jump in. I have the Eight of Pentacles here. The Eight of Pentacles, they call him the apprentice card. A lot of times he'll speak to learning a trade, getting an education, like academic. But here I think he speaks of learning life lessons. Maybe learning lessons from the past as well. Not repeating the same mistakes. Maybe this last relationship you jumped in too soon too and didn't give it a chance to build slowly, and so it didn't have a proper foundation under it, and that's what contributed to things falling apart. And so maybe this is speaking of you taking the time to do something differently here, to learn lessons from the past. So I have the Temperance card, and the Temperance card speaks to balancing emotion and logic. So sometimes what we want to do and what we need to do are two different things. And I think that's what it speaks to in this relationship, is you might want to jump into a new relationship, but what you need to do is take the time to heal yourself. Because I feel like taking the time to heal is going to put you in a completely different spot. Just personally, emotionally, I think it's going to make you different as a person. It's going to give you a lot more strength. I feel like that's what the Emperor speaks to. And then I feel like you have a chance of having a solid foundation for a relationship, because you're not dragging in baggage and hurt from the past. I also have the Three of Cups, which represents happiness and celebration. So I feel like by allowing yourself to take the time to heal, and then to slowly build up this new relationship with this person, I feel like that's you giving yourself the best chance at happiness and success. So to me, some of these cards speak of this relationship that you left behind. I think doing the soul searching, the taking the time for yourself to really contemplate and think about things. I think you're going to find clarity, and you're going to see that though it was a disappointing ending, it was actually beneficial for you in the long run, which is what the Ten of Swords speaks to. I think within that you're going to find a personal triumph. Triumph is what the Six of Wands tends to speak to. Triumphing over challenges. And I think that's what it is. Dealing with these emotions, unpacking this baggage, and then being able to walk away and leave it behind, that's a challenge. And it's going to take you giving yourself time to be able to do that. So I think this also speaks of some of the issues that you had in past relationships, and I feel like it ties in to the Six of Pentacles as well, about the even give and take. The Six of Cups represents a blast from the past, or learning lessons from the past, someone or something from your past coming back into your life. I think it speaks of learning the lessons here. So I feel like we got the Queen of Pentacles next to the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles tends to be called the Miser card. So it warns of being greedy, miserly, being a penny pincher. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, and she's generous, she's giving. I feel like that was you. You were generous and you were giving, and the other person was taking and keeping for themselves and closed off. And the King of Swords can tend to be like that as well. Keep in mind. So that would actually tie in with a lot of these warnings of learning from the past, because he might be the same type of person that you've dealt with in the past, and you've had not very successful results. So you might need to, I feel like being able to take that time and get to know this person, I feel like that's when you're going to find it out. And if that is who they are, then you're going to be able to see that before you ever emotionally invest in it. And it's going to save you from the heartbreak to begin with. I feel like if you just jump in with both feet, you're going to be finding out the hard way. And then you're going to be dealing with the hurt again. So also, it's not just taking time to heal from this past breakup. It's taking time to find out who this person is, so you're not repeating the same mistakes of the past. I also have the Sun card in that same line, and the Sun card to me is a good omen card. So to me, it represents the success of you learning learning from your mistakes of the past, being able to recognize this before you repeat the pattern. I pulled the Waiting Game, the Throat Chakra, which represents communication, accelerated motion, and love begins. I believe that the Throat Chakra is speaking of taking your time and getting to know this person before you dive in and have a relationship. The Waiting Game, I feel like, ties into that too. Taking your time. Take your time and see what they're like. I feel like that's going to be your best chance, because if they are someone who you can love, then what difference is it going to make? You're just going to get more sure in that the more you get to know them, right? And if not, you're saving yourself some heartbreak. You're going to figure it out pretty darn quick, I think. That's what these cards say to me. That's what this read speaks of today. Alrighty, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Please feel free to comment. I love hearing from you guys, and feel free to like, to subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our community. Alrighty, take care.